My guest today, but now I don't even know how to start. So I've known her for so long. But it's so strange that I've never had a chat with her.
I know.
We're socially trying to distance right now. I feel like that's the way we do it at home, but we're going to do it this way. So we're going to say, hi, Fille.
Hi, Caritas.
Okay, so have you washed your hands?
I did. I mean, we're washing hands every other stop.
Did they shoot you like when you were coming?
They do. They shoot everywhere.
Okay, so we're allowing people to shoot us there at every gate where we get to. And right now, I'm just thanking the people who have allowed us to come in here. I mean, it's a tough time, but they've opened up for us. So Speak Apartments, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sophia, how have you been?
I am all right. I'm fine.
Good. You're looking very, very, very good. But you're looking very good. It looks good on you. Okay. So we've never had a chat. So you're going to allow me go back a little bit, just to create just that foundation, just to know a little bit more about you. You know, a lot is said about people. We read about it ourselves in the press. People read about us in the press. They assume they know us. We assume we know you guys and other guys. But it's always nice to just hear from you and just get to hear more about you, get to know more about you. So let's go back to Fille first of all. Fille, you were born in Uganda?
Yes, I was born here.
Okay, so how many siblings are you? I mean, really, how did you get in the industry? I've never had a chat with you. I can't believe I'm asking such a question. But yeah, how did you get in the industry?
Funny.
Yeah, I know. I know you had your very successful concert in 2018, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, let's talk about how you ended up in the industry. So quickly through, just before getting into the music industry.
Fille is... did you ask who Fille is?
Yes, you can answer it that way in a nutshell.
Fille is a Ugandan, born and raised here in Uganda, but of Rwandi's origin.
Like many of us.
But of Rwandi's origin. Fille is a Christian, Fille is a musician, but most of all, Fille is a mother.
And happy Mother's Day, girl.
Yay!
I'm telling you.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
When is the next one coming? That's a question that I have to ask her because I also get asked the same question. So we'll talk about that later. But okay, so Fille, start school, did you go through? Did you become a rebel child like many people, even some of us who are rebel children at some point?
Yes.
And then maybe divert to music. How was it?
Yeah, I was a quiet child in school. Even growing up, I was quiet. But behind the quietness, there was a rebel.
Split personality, she was there, yeah.
Yes, there was a rebel. I went to many schools, not so many, but many schools. I went to Nakasero Primary School, and then I went to Lubi SS. Then in between there, I went to Standard High. Then I ended up in a school called St. Mark's College.
And all that time, you didn't have music in your mind? You didn't think music?
I loved music from way back, from when I was a child. From when I was a child, I would sing in the bathroom. I would sing for my friends. I would sing on family occasions. Okay. Yeah, but I didn't know I was going to end up, being a professional musician. All that, yeah. So 2013, I met, towards the end of it, I met Katz.
2013?
2013.
Okay.
I met Katz and we met on a party. It was like Buzz Lever's party. And,
and he used to host most of those. Yeah, he used to hype,
Yeah, so I came with a friend. I just came with a friend. I met a friend in town and they're like, let's go to Garden City, there's something happening there. And then we went. So Katz was friends with this girl and they gave us a pass to go and backstage. So and we met Katz, and Katz, from then on, he never stopped calling me.
Okay. So he kind of features very early in your music life, right?
Yes.
He's actually... He is where you started, yeah. He is how you started.
He's the reason I got into the business.
You know, we can just Luganda, eh?
Yes, we
Not
Kinyarwanda. We can even just Kinyarwanda.
Let's just make a remix in here. Okay, so were you still in school at that time when you went for the Kadanke?
Yes, I was at campus.
Okay, you were at campus. Okay, that's the time when, of course, then you're discovering yourself, both as a girl and discovering the world. And what were you studying?
I was doing a public administration.
And what were your plans then? Because clearly you were not. Were you thinking music in like focusing on music by that time? Were you thinking?
No.
Okay, so you were thinking going in which direction after school, after uni?
I wanted to do mass comm, and I don't know, somewhat I just failed to do it, and then I switched to public administration.
Okay.
So I wanted to do something in line with what I was studying. But I never thought I would end up doing music as a full-time job and career.
Okay. So you met Katz, and of course after that day he never stopped calling you. So I'm going to talk about Katz separately, but let's talk about him in your music career. So what happened then? So he was calling you like what's up, girl? How are you? It's time. Come this time. Or was it music? Was that the beginning of the music?
No, he didn't know I was a singer.
Okay.
I mean, he was just calling me because that very night when we went for that event, he took us to a Club Bruges, me and my friend Daisy, who happened to be our mutual friend, and so he kept calling me. He's like, come, we go for this party, let's go for this party, whatever. But I was a church girl. He phoned me in church. Yes, I was a church girl, and most of the time I turned him down. I'm like, no, I'm doing rehearsals, or I'm at church, or I'm doing this, you know. Then this one time we went to meet him with Daisy, still our mutual friend. So Daisy mentioned to him that I'm a singer. And I had recorded some songs, gospel songs. I recorded them, halfway. I had done a couple of songs named Nazikola halfway, gospel. Yes, ngazaziwandika. Kati we yazibuliramu. He then told me, you're very talented. I think we can make something out of you.
Okay, did you believe him at the time? Did you believe him? Did you believe in yourself to, his expectations? So clearly he had already raised the bar for you. So did you see yourself
First of all,
in that
I
light?
didn't know what he meant when he said we can do something, because we just, I've always sung anywhere and anywhere, by the way, because then when he met me, I was doing a part job at Nakumat as a merchandiser. Supermarket. Yeah, so I would go after work, I would go to Garden City. Alligators. This is a place called Alligators.
Karaoke. We used to go there and bowling, yes.
Yes.
Oh, memories.
Yeah, so kati nagendanga ku Alligators and I do karaoke. I did it for the love of music. I didn't know that, music can be professional, it can be a full-time job, it can be a career.
But was the church girl still in you?
Yes.
Were you still singing in church? Were you still...
Up until today, the church girl is still there.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
How? Okay, we shall go there. We shall go there, how the water mixes with oil. I don't know, it's very, we'll talk about that in a bit. So you then started, then which way did you go after that?
He when he listened to my songs, the songs that I had recorded, he told me, there is this producer I know of. He's my friend. We could try him. I'm going to take you to his studio. So I said, alrighty, no worries. This one time he picked me, we went, and that's how I met Under Music. He was at Buddy's in Tinda, and we clicked right away with Under Music. Because I remember walking into studio and Katz introduced me and he's like, this girl is a singer, da da da. Then Andy's like, I'm actually doing a beat here, right here. tumuteekewo. So ne banteekawo and say woman, he got no money. And just like that,
it just worked.
The guy was like, okay, keep going. You know, we wrote the song in about 30 minutes.
We is you know?
Me and Andy.
Okay.
Because I wasn't good at writing Luganda, so he helped me here and there.
Okay.
But mainly I came up with the whole vibe and I don't know how that he say he want me, he got no money. I don't know where I got it from. Jaraj. So it just came, and that's how Not About Money was born.
Okay.
And wow, next thing I know.
And so let's then go to that part where secular meets, you know, Christian. Because that's where we're coming from. You're switching from. You say you're still in church, but I mean, if we're doing music and we listen to the music you play, you say you want me. Let's now go to that particular one, and it's the first one you ever created. How was the switch for you? How to get to fit in these lyrics away from the Christian to the secular? Like, how did you manage to balance that? Like, is there a line? Can somebody actually? How can one balance the two?
First of all, I did not think I am going secular. It's what I felt in that moment.
Okay.
In that moment, I felt things and then I recorded them.
Okay.
Yes. And so it wasn't like I have planned it to switch from a gospel to secular. I loved music either way because at the end of the day, secular music is, for me, I consider secular music to be music that expresses who you are in the moment or where you are. You know, it doesn't have to be the way they make it secular.
So overrated.
Because even Christians fall in love. They do. And
I think it's the way the Christians would express themselves musically. The Christian music expression as compared to the secular world. Because I mean, we see videos on radio when we're trying to put out music and they've got to go through, you know, they've got to scrutinize because some of the videos are, whoa. So I know it's a hard balance for you, I'm imagining. Of course, there are people who would say, she's a Christian, she sings in church, still goes there. I mean, but yes, it is very, it is, you've got to find a balance on how to do life while bearing God in mind. It's something we're going to talk about later on as we talk about what happened after that when we come back. Well, you have a cup of herbal tea on me for Mother's Day. I know, right? But wash your hands before you do that. Let's remember to keep our hands clean, even if we are home. Let's keep teaching our kids. It is super, super, super important. I saw Fille's little girl when she came to see me in the car, and she literally picked up the sanitizer immediately and cleaned her hands. That was really nice. So we need to keep our kids in check on that so that when we let them go to school, we're not so worried about how they'll handle it. Yeah, so let's prepare them now. Okay, so let's go back now to your relationship with Kat. So of course now you have done. I don't know why you chose those lyrics though. You got no money.
Like I told you, I don't know where it came from. Yeah. I just felt it flow, you know. Okay. And right there we got no money.
Just release.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your relationship then with Kat, because I wanted to ask you before, did you have any question marks in your mind what he was up to? I mean, he would call on you, check on you. Was he before the music? What was there? What was happening? I mean, were you questioning it? Were you wondering why he was checking up on you? No.
Yeah, I wondered, who is this guy that, you know, he just met me and then he's calling me off the hook 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, off the hook every other day, calling me. And I chose to be friends with him in the first place because when he came to me, he shared a little bit of his life with me. And then I was like, hey, because he was friends with Daisy. I mean, I figured we could be friends.
You felt secure about that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And also, when he got to know that I sing, I sound good, it was also we got hooked right there.
You had something in common.
Yes, so he would call me. He's like, do you want Ande music? Do you want to come around and do something? I'm like, yes. Ande music wasn't charging us because he was starting also, and he loved music also, and he was friends to both of us. So we would go to Ande music and just record music. You know, we were friends.
Okay, so I just wanted to see where your relationship then took a turn. At what point did it have you let your guard down and let yourself let him in?
As we continued to be friends, he continued to share more about his life, and then he was also going through his life. You know, he was going through his life, and at that time, in that moment, I was living in a hostel.
That's in 2016 now, or still 2015?
2014. 2014, yeah, Sangamo hostel. So, and then he wasn't happy with where he was in life. He wasn't comfortable with being at his place. So half the time he would, if he wasn't on TV, he would call me and be like, let's go to studio and record. And that's how we got close. Okay. You know, that's how we got close, and he told me a bit about his life, his lifestyle, and then he would invite me to places here and there, and then one thing led to
What kind of guy was he? Or is he? Was he? Let's talk about that time. What kind of guy was he within that time?
He was on my case. He was on my case, and he wasn't happy with where he was.
Okay. I just wanted to know what kind, anyway, so from there, how did you start your relationship?
There's
no specific time. So how did you start living together, or did you have the child before you started living together?
No, I had the child way later, 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, just like I was telling you, one thing led to the other.
Okay.
I got to a point where I started feeling compassion for him. I felt like he wasn't...
You were falling in love.
He wasn't happy. I wouldn't say I was falling in love. Like I said, it was compassion. You know, so I felt like... I felt like he needed somebody
to talk to.
Yes,
so you became friends.
He needed a friend. Okay. Yes.
That's a good place to start.
And I was young also. Yeah. I was young, so he managed to woo me.
Yes. Church was still featuring a lot in your life at the time?
Yes, I was
or
still in church. Or
was studio taking up? Okay.
I was still in church. Okay. I would do church and then go to studio and record.
Did you continue recording any Christian music or inspirational music?
I did.
To now, to date?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We shall go through that one. Maybe I've missed that one. Okay.
That's a part of me that can't leave me.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay, so let's fast forward and we say musically, he became your manager.
Yes, musically he became my manager. Okay. And it wasn't planned. This one time he called me.
Were you dating at that time before? Which one came first?
There were no titles in my relationship with Katz. There was nothing like we are dating now. We didn't say we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. No, we were friends and just things started happening.
Whatever happened would just happen and you go along.
Yes, and I loved music. He loved music. That was a common thing between us. And then most of the time, he would spend most of his time with me. And that's how I started getting used, you know, being with him, doing studio together. And then he expressed to me and told me, I feel like I love you. Kuagala. Oli mukwano gwange oli chali wange, you know, tonja jinga and all that, you know. So I feel like I love you. That's what he told me.
And did you understand what it meant? What all that now meant?
All that, I was a teenager. I was, what would I say? What can I call it? I wasn't confused.
You were going through a phase, of course, as a teenager, you're growing, you're still trying to figure out what feelings are which, trying to sift through
exactly,
everything.
and also the fact that he was around me all the time, 24/7.
Yeah.
Things happened.
I like that. Things happened. They just happened.
Things happened.
Things happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the manager part came in because now, because there are a few people that I have seen that have who are managers to their partners, like mixing business and
pleasure.
I feel like it's a very thin tightrope to walk, but you guys manage it pretty well. So how did he bring up the managerial bit?
I will tell you this again. There was nothing planned. Because right now, I can tell you that I never sat down with Katz Netwandika contract. Your manager wange. No.
He just was around you a lot and somehow he assumed duties.
Yeah, because he loves music, he started, because when we did Not About